all here.
I can move for the agenda acceptance.
Thank you. Seconder.
And I'll second.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, thanks. All in favor? Any objections? Okay, that's the next thing is the minutes.
Well, I've confessed I haven't looked at them, so, well, other than when you sent them out. So, okay, I can make a motion that we accept them because I remember I did read. That's right. Yes.
Okay. Seconder.
Yeah, I can second.
Okay. All in favor? Any objections? Okay, that's carried. Yeah, we're kind of a slim crew here today, so we just have to try to squeak by with what we got here right now, and hopefully we'll have some more join us. So anyway, yeah, so with that, now we'll just move on to taking a look at our finances. And this is the account balances here. So what we are looking at here is the PayPal account, and I'm just going to take the balance here as of yesterday. It's 2918.65, 2918. I'll say 2919. I'm going to round these numbers off. Royal Bank Canadian account 2698, and the Royal Bank US account $8,174, and that's expressed in Canadian dollars, of course. And Texas Bank, I've got that, and again, that's expressed in Canadian dollars, $3,449. So total bank account balance here of $17,239. So our Canadian cash account, basically zero, nothing there, as also the asset and liability account. So what we have in the banks is what we have to work with. Everything else has been balanced out. So $17,239. And that's, as I said, I think in my note when I sent it out, we're kind of on the light side of things here, but in actual fact, because of, there were a lot of the numbers we were coming in with, yes, they were fairly high, but they were really needed to be drained. They had to go to other sources, other things like the tree account and the NHIF account. And so once we got that all emptied out, actually our lowest time was back in June. The little red dot there shows what we had to work with, and then it's just kind of come up a little bit. So we are actually a little bit better than we've been for the last 3 months, but still well below the 20,000 mark that I like to use as our kind of our bottom line, our line of where we have a baseline, I guess you might say. So our income, on our income side, the inflow and outflow here. So I'm going to use, I guess we've gone into our final quarter now, when it started October. So I'm going to use these numbers here, October numbers. And so for our key proclamation activities, nothing for this quarter, but year to date 635. Spiritual support sponsored, nothing for this quarter, but $598 year to date. Project assistance donations sponsored, nothing for this quarter, but $2,545 for year to date. Sponsored education, nothing for this quarter, but year to date $3,898. Sponsored health and medical assistance, nothing for this quarter, $532. $533 year to date. And sponsored NHIF contributions, nothing for this quarter, but $7,478 year to date. Physical needs assistance, and again, that's sponsored. Pretty much everything here has been sponsored funds. $52, $52 rounded out for this quarter, and $1,587 year to date. Non-sponsored funds that have come in of transfer fees and bank charge donations. These are the transfer fees on them. $6.15 has been donated to cover those fees, and $251 year to date. And the general contributions, we had $1,756 come in this quarter, $29,669 year to date. So the total income for everything sponsored and non-sponsored is $47,213. On the outflow side, we had for disability needs assistance, nothing for this quarter, $1,920 year to date. Spiritual support, again, nothing for this quarter, $6,410 year to date. Spiritual support sponsored, nothing for this quarter, $589 year to date. Project assistance, nothing for this quarter, $104 year to date. Sponsored project assistance, nothing for this quarter, $2,399 year to date. Sponsored education, nothing for this quarter, $3,811 year to date. Non-sponsored education, nothing for this quarter, $15 year to date. Sponsored health and medical assistance, nothing for this quarter, $383 year to date. Health and medical assistance, $318 for this quarter. This is non-sponsored. $5,405 year to date. NHIF premium assistance, which of course is sponsored, nothing for this quarter, $5,292 year to date. Physical needs assistance, zero, this would be non-sponsored, zero for this quarter, $3,241 year to date. Sponsored physical needs, $54.75 for this quarter, $1,140 for year to date. And emergency assistance, non-sponsored emergency assistance, $379 for this quarter, and that's the amount year to date. Farming assistance, zero for this quarter, $1,336 year to date. Sponsored farming assistance, nothing for this quarter so far, but $500 for year to date. And funds for food, nothing has gone out for this quarter, but for year to date, it's $21,084. And transfer fees and bank charges, $10 for this quarter, $360 for the year to date. So the total expenses for the quarter is $762. So that's subtracted from the income of $1,814, leaves us with an upside so far for this quarter of $1,052. And on the year to date, we had inflow of $47,213, outflow of $54,369. So that leaves us with a excess of outflow over inflow of $7,156. That's how much we're in the red for the year to date. And so the outflow graphs shows how that works out. Where we've had the most activity, of course, has been in the second quarter. Seems like the expense for the first two quarters has exceeded the income by quite a bit. Not a little bit of income in excess of expense on the third quarter, and not much activity at all for the fourth quarter. And the first month of that is we're well into it, getting towards the end of the first month of that quarter. So not a lot of activity there. So we can just look here and I'll see if I can reduce the size of this a little bit. We can see the whole graph here. Okay. So this is for the last 12 months. And the biggest part of that pie are funds for food. And that was about 37%. The next to that is spiritual support at 20%. And then the NHIF premium assistance, which is sponsored money, that went at almost a little under 10%. Health and medical assistance, non-sponsored, was also a little under 10%, about 8 2/3. And sponsored education was next to that, next largest, at about 5 3/4%. And physical needs assistance, non-sponsored, was about 5 2/3. And we just go down the line to, sponsored project assistance at 4.5%, and disability needs assistance at a little over 3%, or a little under 4%, and so on. And just since our last meeting, which has been a little over a month now, I think our last meeting was on the 7th of September, and we're now into the 20th of October. So, a month, almost a month and a half. So it shows again the funds for food, by far the largest at 39%. Spiritual support coming in at a second at 30%. The health and medical assistance, non-sponsored, at 21 1/3%. That's the green. The red there, it's emergency assistance, non-sponsored, a little over 6%. NHIF premium assistance, of course, that is sponsored money, and that was a little over 2%. That's the purple. And then we have the light green, which is sponsored physical needs assistance, a little under 1%. Transfer fees and bank charges make up the rest of it. And then for details, you want to see details of the activity over the, since the 7th of September, it's all laid out there in the last 2 pages. So the next thing we probably, to make sense of this all, we'll just go to the budget projection, which kind of breaks out the sponsored from the non-sponsored. Sponsored stuff is in the blue. And so I'll just use the totals here. So for income, inflow, we've taken in year to date, and this is all I don't have it for the quarters here. So year to date has been 16,639. And the just for the BCAF alone, for non-sponsored, is 30,323 that's been taken in. So that's combines to the total that we had in our finance report of 47,213. And going down to the outflow part of that. So again, looking at the black and the blue here, we are getting black and blue, a little bit bruised black and blue. So anyway, 13,614 sponsored outflow funds. Non-sponsored outflow was 38,918, and that totals the BCAF income over expenses was 8,595. That's you take that 38,000 and subtract that from the 30,323 there, which is kind of a new figure. I didn't have that on I wasn't able to show that on the finance report. What I showed on the finance report is taking the total numbers for both the black and the blue and subtracting the expense from the inflow, and that left us with that 7,156 in the red. So there's a little bit of a picture for how the money flow is going. Okay. So,
I noted just on the on the Q3 revenues that we went from 23,000 last month to 17,000 this month, but then I looked at it and saw that was the tree transfer out,
yeah,
so it wasn't listed as an expense. It was just a negative revenue to
right.
true up on
And
that.
that's
So
how I reported it. I had the revenue come in and then it just negative revenue going out. So
yeah. So I just put a note in the notes here about
yeah,
7,100
yeah.
for
It
that.
was
So
just kind of a holding account. It really wasn't, a
yeah,
the tree fund really wasn't part of the BCAF. So
that's right. Yeah, it shouldn't be an expense of BCF. Yeah.
Yeah, we used
Right.
to call that the prudent reserve.
hmm
And
yeah,
brother Ed, I did hear back from brother Jason Hagan of the Unamended, and he has not deposited the check. And he said it'll be deposited by Friday. So hopefully another week and a half or so, I'll be able to send you the copy of the the paid check. Okay.
sure. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so any other questions or comments, concerns on either this one or the finance report?
Oh, looks good to me.
Okay, so anyway, just keep in mind what we have to work with here. That around that we are about $3,000 under the line, the line, what I call the red flag line. So
Which
kind
is
of,
actually more when you back out the sponsored money, right?
yeah, I guess you'd be right on that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we're really looking at like a little under 14,000.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that shows up on that budget thing here. We're in the red by 8,595 there, so that yeah, it's down on 14 altogether. Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for mentioning that. So I guess with all that in mind, we come then to our spreadsheet here, and where do we start on this? I guess
14. Yeah.
Yes, 4, yeah, 24, 114, yeah. Stephen David has a request for funds to host a Bible study gathering in November. I don't know, I don't have anything down there for numbers. I don't know if anybody's received any numbers from him,
No, I haven't.
but even if we did have, I'm not sure just how much we'd be able to respond to that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Even if we did have an amount, I would probably, given the account status, be something I would recommend
Bearing in
not
mind, we got,
proceeding with.
yeah, bearing in mind that there's the study coming up in December.
Mhm.
Was it December or January? It's right in there anyway. There'll be funds required for that. So
December 11th.
December 11th. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
11 to 15, yeah.
Yeah. So that, I think that's more, has a priority probably over anything else. So I would say. The next, well, so well, I guess it's a non-item because we don't have I'll just put here needs more information, but I think if we had the information, that would do much with it. The next one we do have here that we do have information on is Brother Frederick Repicula from Nakalira, not Nakalira,
Namanjalala.
Namanjalala, you're right. Funds to replace house destroyed by rain. And the amount is $3,000 basically. Yeah. That's a goodly amount.
I make a notion that we sponsor half of this, and have him provide us some progress on the funds that was sent to him and shows that he's actually building. And then we can take it from there, seeing where the level of the fund is.
Okay. So we got a motion there to put half of it for sponsorship.
I have a question. I don't know if now is a good time to ask, but doesn't that seem like a lot of money compared to other houses that we've helped?
Based on the current situation there, and with prices inflated and all that, that's around the ballpark of a house replacement generally. You can go cheaper, but then again, it is going to fall into a situation where if it rains heavy again, it's a cheaper built or a house that's not built with good materials that will just have the same thing will happen again. So I think this cost is improved bricks, and I think there's cement in there as well. I don't have the email in front of me, but I believe that it was part of the cost was to buy cement. Before they were using just mud as an adhesive agent between bricks, and that's where if it rains heavy enough, those things just fall apart.
Fair enough. Yeah. Is that something you could forward out to us? The list that you'd received from him on the kind of like the costs that he had laid out for the different portions of funding that home?
Yeah, I know I have it, Jeannie. I can get it. I can forward it to you. All
Oh.
right. And one other note, this is not the total cost. The school or the company he works for has given him 200,000 shillings towards this. So as Bob said, trying to build up something that won't be destroyed again. So he's not actually looking for full, money to build from us. He's already got almost half, if already. Okay, so this
Okay.
is just yeah. So he sat down and it's fully documented, and I'll find that email. I'll get it out to you. Like I say, it's there's no stone unturned on that one. The whole thing is there, and the intent is. Sister Kay commented too. She said, "Wow, that's a lot of money," And but to Bob's point, yeah, this is hopefully not a house that's going to be blown away again, or washed away again, I should say.
And if
Okay. Well, that's great.
if my memory serves me right, he lives in Catali, doesn't he?
I don't remember. I don't know exactly where. I know Brother Evans was, also telling me about what was going on with him.
He used to live in Catali. I don't know whether he's moved out to Namanjalala or not. Yeah.
Yes, when Pinan Wikati was alive, he was living in Kitale town.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I believe he moved out on the outskirts because of the cost of living in town.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. Probably there's certain standards of build that they have to comply with. If it's in the outskirts, there's probably certain regulations that have to be complied with for building a house. anyway, you have the information. Maybe, yeah, if you can send that on to Sister Jeannie, and she can post it on there for sponsorship. And
Right.
but that we haven't passed it yet. We should still do a motion or a vote on this, I guess.
Need a
Oh,
seconder as well. Yeah.
Can I ask one more question for clarification? That $3,000 or roughly $3,000 Canadian, you said there was some $100,000 or 100,000 shillings already sponsored. So what's our actual total? It's the 3,000 less the 100,000 shillings, or is it 3,000 now?
No, actually, it was that he got 200,000 from his employer, okay, which is not reflected in here at all. And Bob's motion is for half of the 3,000 for 1,500. So that's what we're looking at. So we're saying that of half of what he's asked, that's what we're going to vote on. But the other 200,000 is reflected in here at all. It is in the email that I'm going to send you. Okay. Once I find it, I'm looking for it now.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it straight in my head so I know what I'm agreeing or disagreeing to.
So
the
total cost would be like 4,500
Mm-hmm.
roughly, or something like that.
Yeah, the total in Kenya shillings, it would work out to 474,000 Kenya shillings. It looks like for the total bill, and you take 200,000 off of that, you got 274,000, which is what he's requested here, and we're going for half that amount.
Okay, so that helps me frame what's going on. Thanks, I appreciate that.
So we have a seconder on this.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Brother Len. Any more discussion on this? Any questions? Okay, all in favor of sponsoring half the amount of the 274,000 Kenya shillings, or half the amount of the $3,000? Any objections? Okay, that's carried, so we'll put a sponsor on that.
All right, G, I just forwarded to you.
No approval.
You'll also
Approval
so
on
you'll
that
also
one.
find it on your business email too. I noticed. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Brother Bob, were you mentioning something?
No, just saying that's the half that, make sure that he understands that he's getting half, and he has to show progress in the building of his house for us to continue.
Yeah, I'll divide that half here, so that shows 1,464. Depending on the currency. I guess I should update that currency now here and see what that comes out to here. Yeah, so updated currency is about half of the amount is 1,500 there. Exactly.
When you said sponsorship on that, is the BCAF going to sponsor that, or are we looking for an individual or someone to sponsor that?
Yeah, we're looking for an individual. That the BCAF puts it out for sponsorship. We advertise it on the BCAF website for somebody that might be interested in
Okay.
donating some money just
Mhm.
for that purpose. Yeah.
Thank you.
But the 1,500 we're going to pay now is
Yeah.
from the general fund, correct?
That's why I understood it. And the other 1,500 would go out for sponsorship.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, that's my understanding. Did I
My
misunderstand
motion
that?
is to send him the 1,500 out of our general account, and then if possible we can sponsor the other 1,500, providing he shows us progress in the building of his house.
Okay, I'm not sure that I understood. Is that how you understood it, Brother Dave?
I didn't speak to the balance. I just said
Yeah.
in my notes here that the motion is to approve 50% of this request with need to show progress on building before consideration of balance of funds. But whether that goes out to a sponsorship request or whether it's a general account for the next 50%, I don't speak to that in the notes at this point.
You're
But I would,
correct, Dave.
I would
Well,
agree with
understood there's
we could put it
15
out as an option for people to sponsor it, right? And if they do, that's great. And if not, then we can reconsider this once we get some progress updates on it, right? So
Yeah, so Jeannie is still supposed to put that on the sponsorship page then?
as long as Brother Bob's okay with that, I would support that. Yeah.
I believe we can. I think we can put it on there, but generally we'd like to revisit it again once we see progress. If he's making progress and he's
Mhm.
is building on and progress is being made, but he still needs assistance and a sponsor hasn't stepped up yet. I'd like for us to revisit
Mhm.
that issue again.
But this 1,500 is going out like right now, then is it? That's what you're.
Yes, that's basically what my
Mhm.
motion was.
Mhm.
All right.
That-
Yeah, no, I didn't quite understand that. Okay.
That's how I have it minuted. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll make another line there because there should be a line for sponsor and then another line for actual for the BCAF there. So
Quick question: is this? Oh, this is in Canadian, right?
yeah,
Not US. Okay.
Discount dollars, Bob.
yeah.
I know, Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Should make you want to come visit us, right? So
Hey, I'm ready to come again, but I'm just so busy.
yeah.
Yeah, the amount there is in the Kenya shillings there, the 274,000 there for. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. Julius Garamba, did we not send money for that? Julius. Maybe not. Oh. Julius Garamba, he's from the Eastern Ecclesia there, isn't he?
That's Julius from Matandia, is it?
Yeah, smartphone for ecclesial communication.
Yeah, I think I had the sense that we all thought that was a good idea from the emails. So, but I don't know if we actually paid it or not.
I'll have to check into it. I thought I had, but let me check my phone here for a minute. The World Remit says temporarily locked me out of my account, so I can't even go in there and see any of my
Hmm.
records or anything. I sent them all the stuff they were asking for, but it's been about almost 3 weeks now, and they still haven't got back to me on any of it.
Is it that time of year for you, Ed?
Yeah.
Well, hey Bob, they haven't paid anything for me in months. I gave up on them.
I've
They
been
haven't
using it.
questioned me.
I've been using it no problem. So maybe my
They
time
haven't
will come in a
questioned
few
me,
months.
but everything, the last 3 or 4 transactions all had to be canceled. They never went through. They kept blaming the vendor in Kenya. So I just been using Remitly, and when I send money to Brother Evans, he gets it in less than 60 seconds. So I just, just a little FYI, just see what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with it.
So far, I've been using it and no problems for me. So, like I said, maybe my time will come in a few months. They'll tag me for identification, verification stuff.
Yeah, that's what they had to do. I had to send all the bank statements to them and my passport and all the record of my travels there and over the years and just a whole lot, probably about 10 pages of information. So,
Maybe I'm flying under the radar, on the
well,
investigation part because they don't send as much money.
yeah, like I mean, I've been sending $60,000 a year through them pretty much, so it's quite a bit, and that raises flags then of money laundering and all that kind of stuff.
I've been sending about the same amount every year because I
Well,
send to our farm there in Zambia, but and that's what I use. And I also have a personal M-Pesa account in Kenya that I put money in every pay period I get. I put some money in there, so when I go to Kenya, I don't have to worry about carrying a whole chunk of money. So So
Yeah.
far it's
Well,
been no problems. But
you
like I said, I may be up next for
well,
identification verification.
you probably are sending, to lesser, like I've been sending to probably 30 or 40 different individuals. And so they said I either had to send them the security number of each of those individuals, or else a record of all my travels proving that I knew them and stuff like that. So when you send to a lot of different individuals, it raises a lot more flags. And
Possibly.
they've been doing that now. I think this time was about the fourth time this year that I've had to do that. So even if they do reactivate my account, I'm gonna spread it over more. I'm gonna send more through Remitly and World Remit, and maybe even another. There's Wise as well. There's another one there. So there's more.
They still have money of mine they haven't refunded.
I haven't had any trouble with them refunding mine. You got to go in there and ask. You should be able to ask for a refund, but on the app.
Well, sometimes what I do is I'll just send if I'm going to be sponsoring or helping someone or assisting, I'll just send a bunch of money to my M-Pesa account there in Kenya, and then just from there I'll distribute assistance. But the Zambia side, doing stuff in Zambia and Malawi is a whole different ball of wax. So
Yeah,
like I said, I maybe my turn is coming up here pretty quick.
yeah, and then of course I've been sending to Malawi and to Uganda and different places too. Anyway, I'm just going to just look up here, Julius, see if I got any record here. On my
Say, Brother Bob, while Brother Ed is looking there, when are you planning to head to Kenya?
The weekend of, let me see, let me pull up a calendar. I'll give you the exact dates.
Okay.
Okay. It most likely looks like the weekend of December 7th and 8th. And then,
Okay. I have a favor to ask. If I'm going to see, by any chance, will I see you at the Comanche gathering there at the end of November?
if all goes well and my job does require me to work a Saturday or Sunday of that weekend, most likely we'll be up there.
All right. I have the Adam's old phone that I agreed to give it to Brother Evans for somebody else. And
Okay.
that was one thing. And then also a little Jabra speaker microphone, because that maybe you could, I was hoping I'd give to you, you could just deliver them,
Well, I got a set of microphones that we're going to use. I bought a set of microphones we're going to use at the
Well, this is not
gathering.
for your gathering. This is for our Bible classes. We're having a hard time hearing them lately. So
Well, I was going to leave the microphones there. I don't know if I'm trusting Evans, leave it with him. So whenever we have the gathering, if Christ remains away, whenever we have the next gathering in 2025, if Christ remains away, we'll have that, because I realize that even at our gathering, it'll be hard to hear the comments and hard to hear the talks, because in the past it's been Evans' mic on his computer. So I'm kind of doing the same thing that we do in Austin, where we plug the mic into the computer, and that way you can hear we get a multiple mic system. So one for the speaker, one for the translator, and one for people who want to make comments.
Okay.
We're trying to get
So
that.
Okay. So you're saying that if you leave that, so Evans could use that for the Manjalala classes, then you're saying?
Yeah, the only thing he has to do is provide AA batteries for him. That's it.
Okay, that works then. Thank you. And hopefully I'll see you so I can give you that phone. Okay.
Yeah, no worries, no
phone-
worries, no worries.
Yeah, the phone doesn't work here anymore. It's 3G only. So I kept the SIM card. I'm using that in an iPhone 5 to pay stuff. But I'm just he just needs the phone back, then he can get a SIM card for it.
It may be it may not work over there either because they got 4G already, and they're last I heard on the news that they're testing a 5G system, so that phone may not last too long over there.
Yeah, well, I think if I can get it to you, then he can.
Yeah,
If it doesn't work, he can trash it.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't see anywhere I can't bring up anything that I sent anything to him, and I think if I had it would have been pretty recent. So because this just came up pretty recent here, came up in October. So I guess we consider it. That's an amount of about $213 or so. I'll just maybe use the later rate here again.
Now, wasn't this part of the visit of the brethren who went to the East Coast there, and they'll be talking, and hopefully maybe get them involved with this phone, like from Zoom and stuff like that. Did I remember this correctly?
Say that
They say
again.
I say was I know when was it Evans and Paul who went to the East Coast, and I know there was some discussion coming out there that there was those in the East Coast there. I assumed it was Julius that didn't have any way to communicate, and if we got them a phone, obviously they would have intercollegial communications, but also that they might be able to join certain things via Zoom on the phone. Is
Yeah.
that am I mixing that up or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. Where is it here? Yeah, there was a message here from Brother Evans to Mr. K, and I'll just share the screen here with you. So yeah, you're after visiting Matandia. We briefed you and also summarized everything about our visit. Brother Julius lacked the phone for communication. He is in need of a smartphone which can assist him communicate easily to others and can also be able to get some spiritual material. So he's in need of showing 20,000 to get for the phone. So that is the source of this request.
Okay.
And
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve that, especially in light of, why they're getting it. It's not, just for convenience in any way. It's not a replacement, but rather to try to bring them in with other members there.
sure. Do we have a seconder for that?
I'll second it. This is Jeannie.
Thanks, Jeannie. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any objection? Okay, that is carried. It's approved. All right. Oh, here's the one maybe I was thinking about. That has been sent. Joseph Marengo. That was kind of an emergency. No, it's not. No, it was
Was it Robert Abaye?
that was Robert Abaye. Yeah, he lost his phone or had it stolen. That's what I'm thinking
Right.
about. So, yeah, so this is this is another one, another smartphone. 50,000 on this one. What's the difference?
Solar.
Battery and solar.
Oh,
Okay.
ask for battery and solar to go with it. Yeah. Who is this brother? I mean,
Uh,
I don't know where he's
did
from.
we get? Yeah, did we get an email or anything about this request that explains?
bear with me a moment here. Mustango, yeah.
Well, there's Joseph Musango, the name. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Right down here, I guess.
Gutha was the subject line.
Yeah. The members of the Kutha Ecclesia discussed the issue of communication barrier, which is caused by lack of gadget devices. So we request Ikutha Ecclesia to be supported with one smartphone costing 20,000, the battery costing 20,000, and solar panel costing 10,000. There's your 50,000 that make it easy to communicate with members of Ecclesia and other brothers and sisters. We need you to do a small favor on us to abolish this communication barrier. That's the source of the request.
Now, I know from the Manjalala when we got set up, we got Evans a phone that would work, and of course we had to get him a battery and solar.
Yeah.
He had no means of getting it charged, so I understand the request from past experience.
Right. Okay, so Joseph Masango battery. It comes to again, I'll just use the update these numbers here. Right here. So about $550.
I'll fund part of it. I mean, it's kind of right up it's in line with what we've done before. I can. How about I pick up the battery and the solar
Okay.
and just leave it? Leave that. Then it's the same amount of money as for Julius Garama.
Okay. So we'll use a $20,000. Well, again, maybe I'll just they'll be sponsored, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
insert a row here and copy and paste. I should do the same with the one below it too. Okay, so this one will be sponsored. And that will be 30,000. And this will be 20,000. Okay, so that leaves, thanks, Brother Len, and I'm just going to take out the battery and solar out of this here. And then take the smartphone out of the other one up here. There. So we spend it.
Obviously, if we don't approve this, there's no point getting battery and solar. So.
Yeah. So do we have a mover and a seconder for the 20,000?
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Did we have a mover for it?
I'll put that in there. Yeah, right.
Okay.
So,
All right. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any objections? Okay, that's carried. I should do something with this, Frederick. The Kula here too, because that's
Yeah, part A, part B type of thing, eh?
yeah. Yeah, I just put 0.2 here and 0.1 here. Okay, I'll straighten out the numbers after we've had the meeting there, but we'll just get the two segments in there. Take the sponsorship out of this, I guess. Rules for here. And yeah. Okay. Did we get this one passed? I'm doing so much stuff here, I can't remember.
Which one? 120?
Joseph here for.
Oh, Joseph, yeah. Well, I don't think we took the all in favor.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did. We did.
We did?
Did we?
Okay.
No,
Yes.
we didn't vote on it yet. No,
I thought we did.
no.
Okay,
I don't-
well, let's go. All in favor? Any objections? Okay, we're done. Formally. All right. The next one is Caroline Simew. This is for John, I think. Healthcare for Brother John, not covered by NH. Now, I'm just going to mention here too. I've started keeping a little better track of this because, as you know, I issued a reminder to all the recording brethren, and I should do the same to even to individuals that we do need receipts showing, and so I've made a column here for receipts, either yes or no, and since last transaction, so I'm, like for David here, yes, he has sent me receipts on that, but anything that's got a no in here, I haven't, and where there's a question mark, it's either somebody that's just new or I wondering whether somebody else might have received it. So, and if you see anything where you've noticed a receipt being sent, let me know because sometimes I might have as well. But for John here, what we're considering right now, it's a no. I've not received anything from them for quite a long time.
That's a great system, Ed. Thanks for doing that.
Well, if we're going to make it work, we got to have something to relate to. Now, this one, I should take it out of here because we have nothing here no track record on these two yet. And Frederick. I don't know if I've sent anything to Frederick for a long time, so I'll take it off there too. Okay, so we're considering Simews. They're asking for 486, probably more than that now that the currency has changed since this was put in. So, yeah, for almost 500.
Yeah, and just to add to some of the correspondence that went back and forth on that, like I know we were questioning why did they not use NHIF, and Carolyn reported back saying that they went where the doctor had referred them. And I was be mentioning it. I sent everybody an email to NHIF is over. It's done. October 1, it's finished. You can't get any more coverage under NHIF apparently. If you got illness now and you have not registered for SHA, you're not getting any coverage. So I'm not sure that, it's even applicable anymore, okay, to that. I know, but Brother Fred, you had commented, Brother K, I was thinking it's like, okay, why is he going to a hospital that's not, not in the NHI program? But I'm not sure, that may be a moot point at this point because NHIF is dead, it's over.
So is the other taking his place yet, or is it still in limbo?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And you'll see in the email, I sent an email about 5 minutes before 8 o'clock. I was basically, I thought the best thing I could do is to copy paste my messaging back with Brother Evans. Yes, SHA is started. However, yeah, if you want to bring that up, maybe now's a good time, I suppose. There you go, NHIFSAH. So this is a transcript. Brother Evans is in green, and what my comments were back to him was in blue. Bottom line is SHA has started, but hardly anybody is registered for it. It's not an easy process. It takes a while. They're using biometrics. Evans probably about a month ago, had registered for it, and he took a long time. And I know he wanted something to get checked out, some medical attention, but he didn't have any coverage. And you read in there, you'll see somewhere along the line says, yeah, if you're going to go for something, expect you have to pay some cash. So like I said, I gave the whole transcript because I felt it was, obviously I can't give everybody all that detail, but just to distill it down. Some people will be charged more money per month than NHAF, like Evans. Evans is being charged 750 shillings a month, whereas before it was 500, and others would be paying 300 a month. And it all depends upon how, the answers to a questionnaire, and it's fundamentally based on income. So Evans had a job, so and so on. So we'll see how it all goes. But again, and he also says in there that many of the hospitals have not registered yet for SHA, so they're not even in the program yet. So it's hard for me, sitting here to really figure out what's all going on, other than what you're seeing here. So, so like I say, it's kind of in a transition at this point, and we need to contact well, we'll talk about later under the NHIF thing, but this is just to give you an idea. So like being the John Simiu's comment there. Okay,
Good information. Thanks, brother Len, for that. And so yeah, let's go back to the question then here. That's there for brother John. Now, what does she want to do with this money? Is she going to go and buy more supplements, or is that going to go to actual medical care?
The request was for bills that he has incurred going to the hospital that he was referred to, that they have done some testing, and I don't know if they've done any treatment yet, but they have done some procedures there for which there is a charge.
Would it be too difficult for them to forward those reports? I find, having a report in hand sure makes it easy to decipher if there's this, how severe, what's going on. It would be nice to have some of the details.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll just check in my messages. I think there is something in there I may be able to forward.
Thank you.
And in any kind of correspondence with them, I mean, personally, this might be a good time to get them to register for SHA if they have not. I mean, maybe we can take advantage of this opportunity in correspondence. Say, please also, inform us,
Yeah, and I would sure like to hear something from brother John. I'm sorry, but Sister Carol just doesn't have a large trust account with me.
Mhm.
He pulled some fast ones in the past.
Me either, and me either.
Yeah, to me, I would really like to feel certain about this before considering it.
Because I'm getting requests from Paul Juma for money now too. So and that's kind of in the family there, and I just don't know what's going on there.
Why is he sending requests? He's with CBM.
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I told him to check back with CBM because they've got a good financial distribution system there. So that's how I answered him.
Right, and their budget is about 10 times ours.
Yeah. But anyway, my point was, I don't know what's going on there. That they're seem to be trying to solicit funds, and the Jumas are good at that too.
Is there a connection between Juma and Carolyn and John?
Yeah, their daughter's married to Paul.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to make this in a notion that we try to get more information specifically from John before we move forward.
Yeah, specifically meaning the invoices, that kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
invoices, evidence from John, specifically
Yes.
from John, because I
Yeah,
stand
and-
with it on Sister Cara.
Yes, yeah, some sort of reports even that, you know, if he's paid to get medical reports, there should be medical reports to produce.
So I'm making it a motion to get more information specifically from John, and with medical reports and all any kind of paperwork that he can send to support this.
Yeah, we need, right, yeah, something to support that amount, so we can see where it's gonna go. And then we'll need the, you know, something showing that that's where it has gone to after if we do approve it and send it, so. Anyway, do we have a seconder for that motion, Brother Bob's?
Yeah,
I
I'll
s-
second that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I did just look back on my communications with Sister Carol, and there is nothing official on there, just simply the figures that she gave me, and that it is for scanning that they have done. And she says that they told her that there was something like a small wound in his chest, and she didn't seem very clear about it. And I have actually been messaging back and forth with John since then, and there's been no mention of it.
Yeah,
So it's the right thing to do is to check with him, because I think sometimes she does things under his radar.
yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
I'd like to also append on to that if Brother Bob and Brother Sid are okay with that they get registered with SHA as well, the new NHIF replacement program.
Definitely, I'm agree with that too. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a request for more information, and you know, and including the invoices, and depended on there about getting registered with SHA when that comes available.
Oh, it's available now. I mean,
It
they,
is,
they,
okay.
they should have registered prior to October 1, but nobody's done anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So all in favor with that? Any objections? Okay, good. That's carried. Or we'll put an end in there for needs more information.
Brother Sid, you're okay to relay that to them? Is that where the request is coming through, or?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. So basically two things. We need some proper hospital invoices to
Reports, yeah.
match the request, and we need to know that they have made move to join SHA. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Yes, SHA, yes.
SHA, yeah.
and it has to come from John, without,
Yeah.
preferably without Carol's notice or Carol's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still sponsoring the SHA like we were the NHIF, Brother Len.
Yeah, right now, we got 3,000 something Canadian, so that's the plan.
Right.
You know, well, I was going to bring up something when we have the NHIF report.
Right.
About
Yeah.
that,
No,
okay.
that's good. But I was just going to mention that said you
Yes.
tell them that's no
Yeah.
cost to them. It's, we just need them to do it.
Right.
Okay, so I guess the next one here has been sponsored. The only little bit that went from the fund here was just a it was a small amount, $2.62 that the sponsored amount just didn't quite cover there. So I had sent it, and then the sponsored amount came in afterwards, and it just wasn't quite enough to cover. So that's why I made that division there. It's no problem. I just for an accounting thing. So that was for Boaz. Just as a matter of curiosity on that, who is Boaz Juma? You know?
He's a new brother that was baptized about a little over a year ago.
Okay.
He's going on 2 years, and he's a part of the Sibakala Ecclesia.
Okay. Yeah, the name just didn't ring a bell to me, so that's good. It does. I figured it'd be part of the Juma family there, but
No, he's not part of the Juma family. No,
he's not.
no, no.
Oh, wow.
He's a part of the Sibakala Ecclesia, which is the Ecclesia of Robert Abai. They just have similar last name because same tribe, Luyas.
Okay, there you go. You learn something every day. So the next thing here is a request from. Again, I've divided this one, and it came as one, but I've separated them because it's two different things. And I see I got the wrong date on this one here because I brought this forward from it was a 2022 food thing that we sent to them, and we didn't have any information about the current one. So I'm just going to put a different date in here for that. So there are two requests. One was for funds for a poultry project for Brother Jonathan. Although in the request, actually, I didn't see anything about Brother Jonathan's name on there. And that's for 112,000 Kenya shillings, amounts to about a little over $1,200. And there was also a need for food, funds for food there. And I have it based on a 2022 amount we sent them at that time. It would come to about a little over $400.
I'd make a motion on the project, the poultry project, to not fund that due to our account balance, to let Brother Ben know that rationale, and that we would also put this available on the sponsorship option.
Okay.
But we could revisit it when the fund's in a different spot.
Thank you, Brother Dave. Do you have a motion, a seconder for that motion?
Yes, Bob.
Thank you, Brother Bob. Any more discussion on that? All in favor? Any objections? Okay, that's for sponsored. And yeah. Okay. And then we'll move up to the next part of the request, which is for food. And that is, I guess, I don't know, I had on the 2022 time there, I had a number of 45 on here, but we put it down at 24 for some reason. And the amount was 35, I guess, Kenya shillings for each, come to 37,800. And that comes to 413. Now, I'm just using these 2022 numbers because he didn't give us a number for what they need.
I make a notion that we sponsor this as it is right now. I mean, if he wants to send updated numbers, that's on him. But I just think we just sponsor this right now and at least get them food that they need. So I make a motion we sponsor this. That we assist
pay
with
it.
this. Yes,
Yeah.
we fund it.
Yeah.
Right.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that. That's Len.
Okay, thanks, Brother Lent. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll have the question. All in favor? Any objections? Okay, that will be done.
On this, just confirming, this is for Athi Ecclesia Group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what we have. It was the original request came in from this is the line here, the Athi Ecclesia. And that, I just added the one on top here, so. But they both were under the same request email. And next one is from Brother Wilbur Wandera. Again, both these, I'm not too sure about Ben. The last time I sent money to him, but Wilbur, I haven't received anything from him for a while, for and I have sent money to him very recently.
Did he give us documentation with the request?
Usually, I don't know, but I was going to say usually he sends documentation for distribution when I send money. But with this request, I'll just do a little quick search on here.
Yeah, there's some kind of scans or something in here. It was on
Yeah,
October 19th. The pictures of the children, and then there's some kind of
yeah.
they have malaria, typhoid and diarrhea, and yeah, he's put some kind of bills there. So it was a little hard to read them.
Yeah, they were kind of faded out. I don't know if anybody can read them or not. He's requesting 550,000 UGX. That's not too much. Let me just put that here. It is here. It's about $230. So it's not a huge amount, and it's for two children, I guess. So
Mhm. Well, I would think we probably helping them would certainly seem like something we should do.
it sounds pretty serious. What they got there. It's not very nice.
I would agree. It'd be nice to see them send some paperwork after the fact.
Definitely, yeah,
yeah,
definitely. That's going to have to be critical. But,
yeah. I would make a motion that we fund this out of the general fund, but definitely would like to see evidence of bills paid after the fact.
yeah. Thanks, Jeannie. Any second around that?
I'll second.
Thanks, Brother Bob. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any objections? Okay, we'll call that carried. Okay, this one has been looked after and it's got a sponsored, and that's the top of the list.
I just sent an email, Brother Ed, on an email that Brother Paul Walucana sent for funds for food for Nakalira, 6 months for 238,000 is the amount requested. So
Yeah, and I'm going to be getting probably quite a few others in, on the, like I said, the funds for food have been kind of an ongoing thing. I know for Lira and others. This one for Ben here, it's been a long time, and that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to revisit that and get a new motion on that. But
okay,
the rest of them are pretty standard. I've been just
I
sent
see.
as they come in. Yeah.
So for something like that, are we doing 2 months, 3 months type of?
I usually do
Look
it in
forward?
about 2 months, I think is the
Right.
usual.
So it'll be about a third of what Paul's asking for then, given he's
Yeah.
asking for 6 months, right? So
Yeah. And I
Okay.
diarize it on here, and I get a reminder when that 2 months has come up, and sometimes they usually send me another request too, so I know that I'm timing it about right. So
Okay, so we won't add that on here. We'll just do that as an automatic.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
We've been doing that, and quite a few others too. So, and I'll be getting. I'm surprised I didn't get another request here from Wilbur, because I think he's just about due. But they got to start sending these how they're allocating, and get the signature or initials of those to whom they distribute it.
Yes.
He's one person here, and it's going out to an ecclesia. That's really important.
It'd be nice to see some carbon copies on those emails, just to
Yeah.
show that redundancy and awareness.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's about it then for this, unless there's something missed, but I think we've pretty much covered it all. So we will go then to let me see here. Get back to my agenda. So I guess we don't have Kay here tonight, so it's nothing. I don't think there's much going here on projects anyway right now. The Bob, I noticed you sent a fairly good list of members in Malawi, which I'm grateful for. Thank you very much for that. Anything to report on travel or membership? Anything new?
Yep, travel is ongoing. Plans are being made. We have secured the venue. The venue has been mostly paid for, sponsored. Just working on the agenda for the gathering. Got the speakers out. Just waiting on you to confirm whether you're coming, Ed.
All right.
Yeah. But everything's going smooth with that, and hopefully we'll have a successful gathering. The travelers are, like I said, leaving on December 7th. And I believe Brother Victor will be joining us as well from Malawi.
Good.
So, yeah, because his moment to meet with the brothers and sisters in Kenya. So,
yeah, he's been out of the picture for a little while. It's good to have him back.
yep. So we have him slated to join us in Kenya for the gathering.
Is the
Yes.
topic part 2 of Revelation?
Yes, the topic is part 2 of Revelations from verse 13 to verse 22. Discussions and opening remarks on that.
Okay. You say verse 13 to 22 or chapter 13 to 22?
Chapter 13 to chapter 22.
Okay, good. Got it. All right. Thanks for the Bob. I guess anything on resource development, Sid, or I guess you got your hands full probably getting that information from Brother John there. Don't think there's anything else pending.
Sid, you on?
He's on, but he's on mute. So
Yeah, maybe he's away from the phone for a while here.
Sorry about that. I was unmuted and doing that messaging with John, and I had to find my way back to the screen where I could unmute myself. So, the only thing that I have that comes to mind with this is that I had a request. Brother Boaz Juma had gotten me to help him out with some stuff for the Revelation study for the last gathering, and he came to where he realized he needed to see if he could get his hands on some books for that had European history in it, to match up the things in Apocalypse epitomized and so on and so forth, to get a better understanding of what he was talking about. And so if anybody has or knows where there is a book that would be helpful for that, we would have to try and get that over to him.
Is that, would the book Apocalypse and History suffice, or?
I don't know. Who is that by?
I don't know, remember. I thought I had it somewhere.
Brother Bolton, I think.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got the Revelations chart on it, like that we have the larger one at the hall, on that.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it's come from.
Okay, yeah, that might be helpful to him.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in years, but I used to have a copy. I don't know if I do anymore. I did have two sons move out a few years ago.
Could be one of 3 bookshelves, eh?
Yeah.
I don't suppose it's on Christadelphian bookshelf.
I don't remember seeing it there. Does he speak English or it has to be in Swahili?
No, he's got English. His English is pretty good from what messages I've exchanged with him.
Well, certainly if I can find it, Sid, I can scan it. I mean, may not
Okay.
be the greatest scan.
I'm going to interrupt. I actually just went looking online, and you can download it.
Oh, nice.
It's online already. If you go to Zed, let's see, where is this? Zlibrary.to /DL/ the apocalypse in history. It's the W.H. Bolton, 220 pages. Yeah, and you can.
Can you put a link to that in the chat here, Jeannie?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll copy it into the notes.
How do you do that?
Just Control V it or like copy it and then put it into the Zoom chat.
Copy. Okay, and then I've copied it, and then how do I put it into the? Sorry, I'm just totally new at I don't
click on the chat thing, the chat little
Chat on
icon
Zoom.
down the bottom. Yeah.
And you can just
Where's the
paste.
chat on the bottom? Is it the three dots?
Yeah. The little thing with three dots.
Captions.
No, it should be a chat. It should be right.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I see it. Sorry. And okay, and paste. Okay. There we go. Sorry.
It should default to go to everyone, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my newness. I just don't ever do this. So okay.
Yeah, well, you're not alone on that, Jeannie. In fact, I was thinking
that is the link. So that's good. Thanks, Jeannie.
Yeah.
In fact, I was thinking maybe I should ask Jeannie to email that to me because I don't know how I can get access back to what's on chat after the meeting closes.
I'll do it right.
I'll put it in the notes, Sid, and you can just cut and paste it out of the notes.
Okay.
Did you actually?
I just did it, Sid.
Oh, just did it. Okay, I haven't seen it come up yet, so that's why I was wondering.
Thank you very much.
Oh, did it not go?
It's there.
I haven't seen it. You somebody else got it?
It's in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, it's right in the top. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. It was behind the participants window. So.
Yeah. So this is what you will. This is what you'll see when you get to it. There, it comes up like that. And you just click the download, and there's some as well. I'm not sure whether this one has it, but there's some that you can just it's just online. You can just click it and read it. Also,
it's on Antipas, brother Skymaster's old website for the dentist in there. It's there, and a looks pretty clear to read, and you can probably download it as a PDF.
Yeah, so if it's on there, then we've got it on the on our Richard Bereans collegial site on their library here, because I have that on the ebooks here. You click on here, you go down to the Antipas library, and then that comes up here. There you are. You go to authors, and you go to Bolton here.
And I just pasted the link in the chat session too, brother.
Yeah.
There he is. W.H. Bolton.
Right at the very bottom here. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. Apocalypse in History, the Book of the Prophet Ezekiel, Epistle to the Hebrews, and Paul the Apostle. But this is the one right here, and you can just you can open that up, and it'll just come right up, and you can read it right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think while you're studying Revelations in the gathering over there, there seems to be Brother Boaz and Brother Enoch Simu were both quite keen to get their heads around what you were studying there. So any information on that would be helpful to them. And probably there are others who are, wishing they could get a better grasp of it as well.
And said in 13 lectures is also in Swahili.
Oh, is
That's
that right?
available.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
we have
available. Yep.
plus we have the books over there as well, and I have a few extra copies that I'm going to take with me over there. But yeah, that'd be good if we can do that. It's again, we have 4 days of gathering and to cover what 12 or 18 chapters. No, not that much. From verse chapter 13 to chapter 22. So 8 chapters we have to cover in 4 days. And yeah, it's a lot to cover. So we try to cover as much as we can, but you know, as far as the cusp of it is to get them to get the brothers and sisters the idea that the apocalypse is not what the Pentecostals are telling people, and there's more to it than that. Yes.
Under the ebook section, you're under charts, maps, and study aids. I've got the Apocalypse and History chart that comes out of Brother Bolton's book. I didn't see it in the online version here, but if you click on that, it let's see where we come up here. There we go. So if you click on that, you come up with this chart here, and it's in sections, so you can just toggle over to to go right down the chart. You got the dates up, and it tells you everything that's happened here. The fifth trumpet, it'll bring up. You can click on it; it'll bring up the things under the fifth trumpet and so on, like that.
Yeah, I sent them, quite a few sections of Apocalypse epitomized, but they were still kind of struggling with getting it all in context. So I'll try and see if I can help them out with that.
Yeah, this chart is really helpful. I mean, I couldn't get it the whole width, on here because it's be too small. But by doing it in sections, about every few hundred years here, that's going backwards now. It just goes through how it all works out.
And just a note, you can access this on your phone, no problem. I'm looking at the charts right now from going in on my mobile. So anybody that has a mobile there can access these too, right? So it's very accessible.
Very accessible, yeah. So they should be able, if they have a phone, if they got any kind of data plan, they should be able to access that.
Okay.
Yeah, this will definitely be helpful, especially as we go into chapters 13, I think, to 18 is when the veils and the trumpets.
Right, you'll be going through a lot of these things here about the seals and everything here, and
that's what we need over there, Ed.
Yeah.
I think Brother Thomas used Rawling, right? Ancient History, his book, which is pretty. It's a multi-volume, pretty exhaustive. It's a massive work, writings that he has. But anyway, I don't know if that's available or findable online. But
it's I don't know if it was Rawling, but I have it on the website here too. What he used. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Yeah, here we go.
he used mostly Rawling and Gibbon for Rise and Fall of Roman Empire, right? So
got so much stuff here. Horia Apocalypticae. That was Eliot. That's what he used a lot of that.
Yeah, okay, that's another one he uses.
That's on there. Yeah, that was one he used very extensively. Yeah. Horia Apocalypticae. So that's
these are not Christadelphian works, these are general historians, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How do you spell Rawling?
Just Rollin.
Okay, thanks.
This book is Ancient History, is what it's called.
Does it have an S on the end? Is it Rollins?
I'll go look. Just let me look here. I got it out just outside my office here.
Okay.
It's OS. just 6 letters, ROLLIN.
Okay.
Anyway, take a good look through the ebook section there on our website. There's a lot of stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was Apocalypse. Which one was the one that you said was in Swahili, Len?
Oh, well, 13 lectures is in English and in Swahili.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
that's what,
that's Brother Roberts, right?
Yes.
right. And brother, I don't know if I know it's on chrisdelphian.com. I think if you do chrisdelphian.com/Swahili, you'll find it.
Okay.
I think I
Right,
put
so
it on our ebooks as
did you
well.
put it up there, brother? I don't remember if we did or not.
I may not have the. I'll have to look if I got the Swahili part. I know I've got the other
Right.
one, the English version, but
All right. Yeah,
Oh.
if you
but
we were
it's
going,
easy to post the other one. I can get that and put it up on there easy, or
sure,
even
okay.
make a link. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the link right now on the chat session.
Okay.
And there are some other things there in there. Well, we started off really good and then we kind of puttered it out, but we were trying to get different types of documents up and everything from 13 lectures to children's lessons. But like so many things happen in life. We kind of get started and we lose it.
Okay, so that's good. Anything else you need there, Brother Sid?
No, I just gotta get this down now. I've got myself a pen and a piece of paper. I've got to get this on here before it escapes my head.
Well, you can always, reach back to one of us if you need more help with anything.
I'll capture these in the notes here, Sid,
Okay.
so you can reference that. So
One of the other things that we have been, doing some messaging about, and Kay's been working on a bit, is the future planning for Bible study gatherings in Kenya. And I've got her little workup here on that, some of the things to consider. But I don't know, we'll have to reach into that fairly aggressively here, I think, in the near future. I don't know if we got time for it now, but maybe sometime when Kay is on with us. And I think it's a pretty important thing to consider. I think you've all got that. She sent that around to all of us.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Yeah,
I can't find it in my emails anymore.
well, again, let me know if you can't find it. I'll forward it to you. So it's yeah.
Yeah, I do think it would be good to have Kay part of this discussion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So I guess coming down to communications, Dave, I just noticed that we just have not our donations have really dropped off again, and I don't know whether we need to get another reminder out or
yeah, I was going to ask you, given the account status, what your thoughts are. We have given out 2 kind of updates so far this year with here's the status and an appeal for funds. If you think it's worthy, then definitely can do another, right? So
yeah, I'm hoping if this all comes through, and I don't see any reason why it's not. The information I sent along to you there about from Brother McCarty and the estate of Brother McCarty and the estate of the Burnett's. I'm not sure just what the end result of that'll be, but if it kind of turns out to what I think it might, just in putting in a good, solid, secure investment at a 10% interest rate would pretty much give us our annual budget without just having it there as a resource. So
I love that idea, Ed.
Yeah.
I think that's a great plan to not touch the principal and just
and it's always there, and
I would venture to say right now that we don't even discuss that until we get it, and just kind of move along like it's not there. You know what I mean? Just
Oh,
just
yeah,
to
yeah, we have to for now, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
I did talk to the lawyers, and it's a sure thing. They just have to work through some stuff on it, that's all, but it's
Good.
definitely might be another few months yet, but yeah.
So your thoughts are, brother, that we would be good to send out some type of appeal at a minimum, or a report and an appeal?
I think so, yeah, it's just something like you
Okay.
do, it seems to be very effective
Okay.
every time you do it, so, yeah.
Okay, I'll look at getting that together.
Now the,
Just one thing I'll just ask here on the account status. Sorry, just make sure I get the facts straight here. We're sitting at 17,000, but within there, I guess it's the Texas Bank amount of 3,400. That's the amount that's already earmarked, right? So that brings us down to the 14,000, like you were saying, Brother Len, right?
Right.
That's okay. That's the only nuance I gotta have out. So
yeah,
I
because you
usually
got,
just trying to see what the working balance is, right? So I need to do the math
right,
on that.
you
So
got the Texas Bank amount here, that's
yeah,
really not ours to use.
yeah, yeah. So it brings us actually down below 14,000, and after these
Right,
expenditures, it'll be probably closer to 10.
exactly. Yeah, so yeah, we need to get something out. I think it's important to,
Okay.
yeah, because it seems like the food requests, they keep coming in. It's, it's not getting any better there. So, it's going to be necessary. Okay, so the key committee now, Sister Yvonne has been working on the website. Seems like we're getting more activity on that. And there's been a couple others that have been referring people to it to study on it. And I did have a couple requests and that had come in on it, and I'm just have not been monitoring it quite as well as I should, and I missed it by a couple weeks to get back to them. But I'm thinking I'm going to have to maybe try to organize it where we get a few others working with me on it. I can definitely share the access to the email access, um, so that messages that come in off of it. And I'm working with our ecclesia here as well on it, through Brother Reagan and Brother Austin, and and we got others. It doesn't have to be just brethren either. I mean, it could be sisters too. But I think it's showing signs of maybe taking off, and we'll need, it offers it in either they can go independently on it and just go through the studies themselves, or they can have a supervised study, much like Brother Morel was doing, uh, Brother Mike Morel and his wife were going through that supervised study, and one of the requests I had was to do that, but by the time I got back to him, he had decided to go with a different denomination. So it shows you got to be right on it, and get right back to them.
Yeah, Brother Ed, we're discussing kind of what our next effort is in Edmonton here on preaching, and this could be a good outlet for a few folks to help with. So if you want to include me or us on that, to be happy to share that with the others in Edmonton.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think it's it's a good. I know Brother Glendon is going through it in the lesson by lesson in our Wednesday night class here too, just to so that everybody gets acquainted with it and how to use it and everything, so that everybody has a good in-depth understanding of the lessons and how it's put forward. So I think, okay, well, I'll make note of that, Brother Dave, and we'll see how that moves along. I know Sister Kim has been quite interested, and she's got some of her friends I think in Vermilion there, and getting started on it, and so Looks good. So anyway, I guess moving right along then to NHIF or the other one, the new one.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, NHIF is done. It's
Yeah.
officially finished. October 1. It's no longer an entity. Right now, probably 99% of our members have absolutely no coverage because they probably have not registered yet. And I think it's partly due, well, there's a few reasons, but one, of course, it was supposed to take effect on July 1st and it was postponed, and people really didn't act because they should have been registering, during that period. So I sent everybody an email, mentioned earlier. It's a transcript of the messaging that Brother Evans and I did this past week. And the takeaway points are: one, he suggests in there that a letter go to the recording brethren to basically tell them, hey, NHIF is done. You need to help your members, or talk to them, help them, whatever, assist them in any way to get them registered. And Brother Evans in there mentioned something about on the phone, star 147#. Apparently, that's something in there that you could do. I'm not sure if it's all online or through that phone. I really don't know. But he's personally has registered. And today, a little while ago, earlier today, I actually made a payment to SHA. So we confirmed that if you go to the very bottom of that email, brother, and you'll see there, the green is Brother Evans, the blue is me. And you'll see in there that, see at the bottom, he said, hey, how about try making a payment for 1 month for me? Let's see how it goes. He'll validate that, make sure we can see that the payment's been made online. So I made that payment today, the 750 shillings. So we still have, the vehicle M-Pesa to make the payments is working. It was working just fine. The credit balances that from NHIF are supposed to be transferred to their SHA account. Now, there's also, every individual is going to be responsible for telling us how much their payment is. As you can see, the payment for Brother Evans is going up from 500 shillings per month to 750. And it's based on the information that has to be completed on a questionnaire. It's all tied to income. So those who don't have any income, I think Brother Evans mentions if you're up to 10,000 on income, it'll be 300 shillings per month. But it could be as high as 2,000 per month, depending on how much money you're making in there. Yeah, there it is there. We have only some suggestion, but not clear. We just wait, but unemployed members should be earning between 1,000 and 10,000 and will be paying 300 per month. And that would be down from 500. So we're kind of in a transition period here. We need to, I don't know. I've sent letters out to the recording brethren. I could do it again if everybody's okay with that, and just telling them, okay, we need to do this. You need to get on it. It's already past the point right now. Like I say, Brother Evans mentions in there, if you're going to need medical attention, you got to have cash, basically.
Yeah.
Because you have no coverage. And he was talking about Brother Godwin. I guess Brother Godwin currently needed some medical attention. It's not that part is not in the email I sent. But he had mentioned to me that Brother Godwin needs some attention, and he told Brother Godwin to go ahead and get it registered and see and we're going to follow, see what happens with Brother Godwin as well. But so that's sort of the like I said, the takeaways. NHIF is gone. We don't know how much the monthly payments are going to be. And a letter to the recording brother, I can do that if anybody, unless anybody has an objection. I can't imagine you would, but so we'll see. I mean, like I say, we're kind of caught up, and like I said, we've got sufficient funds for the time being. And I'll just kind of sit with that. I mean, we got I forget, you said that was 3,300 or 3,400 Canadian, so it's probably about I don't know, maybe 2,500 American US. And that'll be fine to get us, hopefully to the point where this transitions. In January, I usually send a letter out to all the contributors, and I'll see what see what January brings as far as being able to get information to everyone. That's kind of it.
So I
Yeah,
was,
sounds like kind of a poor rollout on that by the government.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean they've been advertising it's coming, but like so many government programs there, it seems like people don't have any real confidence in it, you know. And of course, then they say, okay, that's it, and chip's gone. Oh, you didn't register. Well,
Yeah,
too bad, you know.
yeah, and you know, sickness doesn't wait for anybody. You know, so
Right.
they better get registered real quick.
Yeah.
I just
And
sent,
it takes a while to get registered. And you know, it's not just a 1 day thing. Apparently, they're using biometrics, and it may take weeks before you get approval to go ahead and use it.
Yeah.
I just sent that information to Brother John Simu, and I advised him to contact Evans Wakesa
Yeah. Mhm.
if there are any questions.
Yeah, that's great.
So, okay.
Yeah, Evans is our boots on the ground, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, he's experienced with the other program and he's
Yeah.
knowledgeable about the transition. So,
Yeah, and he's also been around. He's visited different offices. I think he mentioned something in there. Like I said, he says that many of the hospitals are not registered with it yet.
yeah.
So even everything is just we're going to cut off the program, but we're not waiting for anybody. So hopefully it'll become urgent. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I found registered now Nabwala Hospital, which Kimikungi and Kabasasi could use. So that's good. And that
That's the
David
only
he's
one he
referring
found.
to, yeah, the David he's referring to is brother David Nyangesa, the brother who had the accident, and we sent some money to help pay his bill. That's who he's referring to there.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, hopefully that'll go along as smoothly as it can go. And
Right.
We're probably a little bit too early to get a sense of what the annual fees will be, and it'll probably take a little bit of time to get that figured out, Brother Len?
Yeah. I would imagine it's going to be a few months.
Yeah.
Because we have to wait till people register, and they have to come back and tell us what their monthly amount is.
Yeah, it's an individual assessment, not a flat rate.
it
Right?
is it is good that they're going to honor the whatever balance they have there. That
Yep.
is a good thing. Yeah.
Not lost.
Right. Now we do have some people who were due for payment, so there's not going to be any real balance there. Evans is one of them.
Yeah.
Him and his mom, and then oh, is it Katui maybe? Who's in Katui? Is there David in Katui?
Yeah. Stephen David.
Okay, so maybe I think it may be Steve and David. That group, they're coming up in like December. So we're gonna have people, and we just brought there was some however it worked there. That's right. His daughters were delinquent, and they were getting notifications, and we've been paying it for 2-3 years, but they've been constantly behind. And we never knew that, so we got them current. He had asked to pay for like a year's worth, so I said to him, "No, I'm just going to pay through December because we got to see what happens with SHA."
Yeah.
So anyway, but they're coming up there. So the bulk of the premiums are, pretty much right after January. That's when they really start hitting February, March, April, May. So hopefully people will get on board before then.
And you got a little bit of lead time here to try a few
Right.
registrations and kind of get a little experience in how
Right.
it works out. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Thanks for the update on that. And I think I guess it's probably the idea is it's going to be a better plan in the long run. Is that right?
It's supposedly going to offer more coverage. When I read about it, they're going to make available some other type. There's, I don't know, types of coverage that they didn't have before. Supposedly it's going to be now available. And
Good.
I wasn't familiar with these other programs that they had there, but that's what it sounded like anyway,
Yeah. That sounds good. They might have a better system there than we have here in America. So,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that, Brother Len. And I guess that brings us down to just these action items which we looked after. We suspended the monthly amounts to Brother Jill. Now, that's something we haven't really talked about here, but I haven't received any more information from him. So I guess that just sits
Yep.
in limbo.
Nothing
I,
on my end
I
either.
can add that, at Tennessee, brother Jim and Kathy Summerall, we were talking, and they haven't really heard from them either.
No. And, until we hear from him that he really, needs something, or he may be, if he sold his house and have got that through, he may have all the funds he needs. I don't know. But, anyway, so that's that one. And the other one is a one-time amount for the Shadrach. Now we're waiting for him too. I haven't forwarded any money for. Usually I forward on the 15th, but I haven't heard from him, and I've sent that little reminder around again. So hopefully I'll hear from him. He can give me some receipts, let me know how the funds are spent, and we can get a little better handle on that, and decide what we're going to do there. The other one here was to Brother Arthur Wicketty, funds for food. Brother Arthur's been really good. He's given good detail on everything, distribution and all of that. And then of course there was the visit by Brother Evans and Brother Paul. We went east as far as Matondia and Kutha and Athi there for spiritual support. So that was done, and that trip is behind them now, I do believe, and I think it sounds like it was fairly successful, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Brother Evans mentioned to me that the new ecclesia in Uganda was wondering if he'd be coming back up and visit them again. So I haven't heard much on the status, but I remember earlier in the year they were asking for so many visits, during the 2024. I think he's made maybe one or two, but we might see a request for that.
Yeah.
Just a little heads up.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure they do need it. They're a new ecclesia, and they probably do need some support there. So I guess that's about it. I think we'll put a note there. Maybe Brother Dave, you can add it somewhere about revisiting this matter of discussing the future planning for Bible study gatherings in Kenya. Just so we forget about that.
Under new business then?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Future agenda.
Yeah, I can do that here too, actually, under new business gathering plans. Make sure we don't gathering planning, I should put it. And in the meantime, give it some thought, and come up with any suggestions that they might have that can contribute to the discussion.
Sort of like Richard and Wales the years ago would alternate years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, or like the Eastern Gathering does,
Yep.
Yeah, swing it around. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Probably need to look at something by general location and an agreement by the local ecclesias
it doesn't say they
to
can't
do one per year, or something like that.
It doesn't say they can't have a weekend study among themselves or something.
Mhm.
And a few that are close by can attend. I mean, Tennessee had a study in the spring, and
I thought that was ongoing in Kenya already. Kabusasi had one in August, and I think in April, Bungi had one. So
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot ongoing. The question is, I guess, about what they can expect to be funded from the fund here. What we have to decide what
right. I
support.
just think that is something that we can discuss later, but off the top of my head, I just think it's something that we have to evaluate on an individual basis, right? Of which gatherings we're sponsoring. Or
we got three, basically the Eastern and the and then the kind of the central part there, Katui and Western, and so there should be some way of give support to all three, and Western. I mean, well, they're all pretty close there, really.
Right. So when Kabusasi had their gathering, there was a lot of people from the Western that went, and even some from the Eastern parts. Yeah. And then Kimakungi, they had mainly the locals, and maybe from Namanjalala and Nakalera and Sibakala that came to that came together with a few from Odiado. So, I mean, it's already there and active. It's just a matter of which ones are we going to sponsor, which one
That's
is the BCAF going to take up. I mean, the December gathering is, most of it is being sponsored already, and you know, for the foreseeable future, it'll be sponsored. So, as far as the December gathering, that's not even part of the
Yeah, I
equation.
think what we do get calls for with our fund is for the travel for quite a few of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the two. Yeah, there's two pieces. There's the hosting together, and then there's the travel.
The travel.
What are we gonna,
Yeah.
what parameters are we gonna put on that, right? So
Anyway, that's something for discussion, and we can talk about that at another time. So just try to keep in mind. Anyway, that pretty much winds it up, I guess. Thank everybody for your contributions to the discussion, and you all have a good evening and a good upcoming week.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good talking to you all.
Thanks.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Night.